It is an honor to be here this morning. The last notes that I had for here were from 2016, so I also did not realize how long it had been, but I am so thankful for the opportunity, not just to be able to share about heart choices, but to be able to worship with you. I love the music and the worship, and I love the people here. And so I'm so thankful to all of you for the opportunity to be here. I love the opportunity that I have to be able to work in or minister in heart choices for almost 22 years. That God called me to this ministry at a time when I really didn't have a clue as to what it was going to be. I really did not know, but a step out in faith has blessed my life, and I hope has blessed others through the years. And all because, yes, there is a need, and yes, there are things that situations that need to be addressed and to be able to support, but most of all for the opportunity to share God's love in a way that we all need to hear. We all need to know how much He cares for us. And so we'll begin by just a little bit of just a reinforcement of that this morning.
Something we all know, something we all feel, is that each person has value. From the youngest to the oldest, from the weakest to the strongest, from the most cautious to the most gregarious. Each person has value because God loves each one of us with His unending love. He first loved us, not because of our goodness, but because of His great love. And that love is not just for a few. It's for the entire world. God loves those in church today, and He loves those who have never attended. He loves those who seek Him daily and those who try to hide from Him their whole life. He loves those who are full of joy, and He loves those who are hurting and in need. And He loves and values those who are in plain view and those who are hidden and humble. Today on Sanctity of Human Life Sunday, we are able to join God in His love of babies, even before they are born. We can share God's heart for expecting mothers who are scared, excited, or unsure. We can give our prayers, our time, and our support to the least of these. And we can stand alongside God's righteous forgiveness of those who have experienced the pain of abortion. And we can share God's truth that each life created in His image is wonderfully made. On this Sanctity of Human Life Sunday, will you join us? God's deep and abiding love is given to each of us freely. Today is your opportunity to share that love with others. Please, turn your hearts, minds, prayers, time, and support toward the choice of life. Help us educate and demonstrate God's truth, that each person has value.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity and for allowing me to make this a Sanctity of Human Life Sunday. As we consider the mission of Heart Choices to empower every individual in the greater North Central Kansas area to make healthy life choices related to their sexuality, childbearing, and parenting, consistent with the sanctity of human life. And that is our mission, our goal, that is our measuring stick by which we consider every service and every opportunity for heart choices. But how do we do this? Mark Rothfuss made a comment about my outfit today, and he said that I looked like a prisoner because I was wearing my black and white. Well, I am here to proclaim I'm free. I'm thankful. I love Mark, so but aren't we all glad to have that opportunity to be free? But we have not always been free. We have been born into a sinful world. And reading from Ephesians 2, as for you, you were dead in your transgressions and sins, in which you used to live when you followed the ways of this world and of the ruler of the kingdom and of the air, the Spirit who is now at work in those who are disobedient. All of us lived among them at one time, gratifying the cravings of our flesh and following its desires and thoughts. Like the rest, we were by nature deserving of wrath. But here's the key. But God, because of his great love for us, God, who is rich in mercy, made us alive with Christ even when we were dead in transgressions. It is by grace you have been received and saved. God raised us up with Christ and seated us with him in the heavenly realms in Christ Jesus. How thankful I am for God's love today. How thankful I am for his mercy that when I've made mistakes, and I have made many, and I kind of suspect probably you have too. Maybe they were big ones. Maybe they weren't as big. Maybe they were small ones. But in every situation, God extends his mercy to those who will ask and reach out to him. But sometimes they need to know how to do that. Sometimes they need an avenue, something to put them into that situation of gaining that support or that counsel. And so for Heart Choices, that's what we want to do. We want to be that lighthouse, that place where if there are decisions that have had negative consequences, or if there are challenges that parents or young women are facing, that they can come. So they're not necessarily just going to walk in the door for that. So it's great to be able to offer the other services that they might receive. So how do we do this? We do this through pregnancy tests, through pregnancy counseling, helping them to explore their options if that is a thing that if they are considering maybe that they can't be a parent, and helping them to look ahead and see how they might be able to raise this child or make provision for someone else to do that. Pregnancy test used to be a big draw. When we started in 2002, it was that was the draw that brought people in, was pregnancy tests. But very quickly, Dollar General and then Dollar Tree and Walmart, they started offering very, very low-cost pregnancy tests to where that really was not so much of a draw to bring them in. I call it bait. But anyway, it wasn't bringing them in as much. And so to be able to share these services, to be able to share God's mercy and love with them, that opportunity for hope, we needed to be able to do more. And of course, then there was the opportunity for them to receive material items like diapers or wipes or anything that they would need to prepare themselves for parenting this child. Or maybe they have needs that are immediate for themselves. And so being able to provide the material assistance through the Earn While You Learn program has been great through the years. But as we progressed in through the years and saw the trends, we realized that how important it was for a mother to bond with her child early. And usually she could do that mainly by seeing that baby. So that is why in 2018 the decision was made to go ahead and begin the ultrasound services. And what a blessing that has been. A part of that blessing, a huge part, has been the addition of Krista Bryant, who I think most of you know, to our team and to be nurse manager. And she's going to share just some of her experiences now with the ultrasound program.
Psalm 139, 15 and 16 says, "When my bones were being formed, carefully put together in my mother's womb, you knew that I was there. You saw me before I was born. The days allotted to me had all been recorded in your book before any of them ever began." Now, obviously, the psalmist was talking about God. God knew, he saw those bones being formed. And I'm not God, but I do perform ultrasounds at Heart Choices. And through that technology, I too get to see babies in the womb before they're born. We see pictures like this, little tiny ones in the very, very early weeks. Now, we're all very familiar with that first verse, that God saw those bones being formed. However, that next verse says, "The days allotted to me had all been recorded in your book before any of them ever began." When I see this baby, when the mothers see this baby in front of them, I don't know how many days have been allotted to that baby. God knows that. Some of those pregnancies will end naturally in miscarriage. Some of those pregnancies, we hope that those pregnancies will be carried through to birth, and we look forward to the life that they're going to live. However, some of them will make other choices, and the days allotted are short. So when we look at those, our prayer is that that mother will choose life. Now, I began volunteering at Heart Choices in 2017, and like Alice said, we didn't have an ultrasound program at that time. And so in 18, we began to talk about it, and very quickly we went on, and through generous donations, we were able to purchase an ultrasound machine. And by the summer of 2019, 3 of us had been trained to do what we call limited obstetric ultrasounds. My goal when performing an ultrasound for any young woman is to be able to show her life. We're looking at a baby, we're looking in those very early stages, we're looking to see movement, we're looking to see a heartbeat. Pregnancy, for many of us, is planned and hoped for, and we look forward to the child that's coming, and it's exciting and it brings a lot of joy. But sometimes it's unplanned, and the women's responses are not always the same. Some of them express joy even in the surprise and begin to prepare for what is ahead, but some of them are fearful, and they're uncertain how they're going to deal with this unexpected turn of events. When we do ultrasounds, there's a TV screen in front of them, and almost all of them look intently. When I put the probe on the abdomen, they watch, and they look. They want to see the baby move. They want to see the glimpse, the flicker of that heartbeat. Seeing a baby at those really early weeks, at just 6 to 8 weeks of development, makes an impression that brings humanity to what as yet has just been a positive test. So most of the women that I perform ultrasounds on have wanted their babies, even though many of them have a lot of risk factors. They may have insufficient finances, unstable relationships. Sometimes they're young students, very young sometimes. Sometimes emotional challenges, and even pressures from people around them. Some of them have even had previous abortions. Some of these ladies will share that with us. I'm sure there are others that I've had that have not shared that with me. But when a woman comes to us at Heart Choices and trusts us with information like that, our ministry is to support her and to offer hope and healing, and to encourage her that she has options even in her present situation. The world would have us say that unplanned is unwanted. And truly, for most of these women, that is not the situation. But some of them feel like they don't have choices. And they hear the world very loudly saying, if it's not convenient, if this isn't a good time, we have ways to deal with that. And they'll offer, and abortions can be had with less effort than I wish. But what we want to do is to offer to walk alongside them in their pregnancy, walk with them after that baby is born. If they determine that they're just not at a point in life where they can parent a child, there are other parenting options. There are ways to offer hope to them. And statistics say that when a woman has seen a baby in an ultrasound and has seen that movement, a very high percentage of them will choose to carry that baby to birth. And of course, we pray for them. And if they'll allow us, we will pray with them. I would ask that when you think of this ministry, that you will pray for the families impacted by what we do, and pray that the women that we touch will choose life. The limited ultrasounds we perform are free. They're confidential. No one will know that you've come to see us unless you tell them. And we're available to anyone who calls. We have some who make appointments simply because they want to see their baby in those very, very early stages, and I love doing those. But if you know someone who's pregnant and they're wrestling with fear and uncertainty, please encourage them to contact us so that we can come alongside them to support them through the love of Jesus Christ.
Thank you, Krista. And I would emphasize that on the ultrasounds, we can do those on anyone. And our nurses love to do those on those happy situations, on those planned situations. And it's great practice so that they will be kept up to be able to do the very best job they can when a crisis type situation comes in. So thank you so much. Now, I know what you're all thinking, though. You may be saying, but wait, why is this even necessary? Over a year ago, didn't our nation or our Supreme Court overturn the Roe versus Wade legislation? And so why isn't the problem over? Well, unfortunately, it is not. When the Roe versus Wade was overturned, we celebrated because we knew that that was a step to be able to end abortion in our nation. However, what it did was turn it over to the states. I think we all felt pretty comfortable that we were living in a very conservative state. And so when the Value Them Both amendment came around, that was going to limit what abortions could be in Kansas, and it was such a close step then to be able to ending it for sure. And we felt like that this was really going to be the thing for our area, for our state, in our conservative state. And unfortunately, we were disappointed. And we found that we had a very divided state and some people who really wanted to influence the voters of Kansas. And so the Value Them Both Amendment was not passed. And so that has created a whole new situation for us. Obviously, there will always be challenging pregnancies. There will always be those who are needing the services that we provide. But what it has created is Kansas has become an abortion destination state. And as some states, some of our neighboring states and others within the nation were prepared and very quickly put in legislation that would either totally eliminate abortion from their state or would at least restrict it to very, very early weeks. We found that those women in those states and are coming to Kansas. That has resulted in a huge, huge increase in the number of abortions that are taking place in Kansas. This next slide shows just a little bit, and I know that that's small and you can't read it very well probably, but the latest state abortion statistics, that's from 2022 from Kansas Department of Health and Environment, it reflects that over 12,000 abortions took place in 2022. 57% increase in the overall annual number of abortions from the year before. The largest year-over-year increase since the statistics have been recorded. 29% increase in painful live dismemberment abortions. 117% increase in abortions performed on out-of-state residents. That's those coming to Kansas, of course, for every one performed on a Kansas resident. 38% increase in the number of chemical pill abortions, and 49% increase in the number of abortions performed on minor girls. So I want to speak just a bit to the chemical abortions because that comprises over 7,000 of that 12,000 number. So what that means is those women are given the opportunity, or they are given a series of 2 pills. They take one, and then they will take the other 24 to 48 hours later. So in this, it's usually a 2-pill process that is given to terminate the pregnancy or the life of a baby within the first 10 weeks. And so one thing that we do know, of course, is, first of all, they don't have to go to a clinic to get those pills. Those pills can be gotten on the internet. They can be gotten even in some places on kiosks that are in public areas. So they are not receiving medical care when they do that, increasing the risk of bleeding and some extra to the baby. So how do we actually work with this? How do we combat this type of an enemy that has come in? And so the good news is, of course, as I said, we've all made decisions and then wish we hadn't made them. Sometimes that happens with these gals. And because it is a 2-part procedure, they after they take the first pill, they might regret that they took it and think, I never should have started this process. And so this has caused the importance of the reversal. There is a possibility that after taking that first pill with the proper treatment, that can be reversed. And babies have been born as a result of that reversal. So we are working with our medical team and with doctors in our communities and offering not only referral, but even getting them to those doctors or getting that process started. So we are so thankful to be able to have that, once again, one more ray of hope for that baby to be realized and grow and have hope and a future. There are so many other things that we do in our centers. You know, we have 4 centers, and sometimes I think the best way for you to understand what Heart Choices really is, what it really does, is to take a tour. And obviously, can't take you all in there today, but I do have a short video that might kind of help you to understand who and what is happening when someone walks in through the doors of Heart Choices.
Opening the door to a new chapter in life can be exciting, but it can also be scary.
For those facing unplanned pregnancy and the challenges of parenthood, looking at your options can feel overwhelming.
When you walk through the door at Heart Choices, you find a friendly smile, a helping hand, someone to greet you, no matter what the situation is.
Since 2002, we've been empowering individuals in the greater North Central Kansas area to make healthy life choices related to their sexuality, childbearing, and parenting, consistent with the sanctity of human life.
Heart Choices Pregnancy and Parenting Resource Center is a nonprofit, community-supported organization that offers a variety of services provided by warm, welcoming, and compassionate staff. Our free confidential pregnancy test and ultrasound can give comfort, reassurance, and resources that may bring hope to an expectant mother.
We can provide unbiased mentoring to help parents make the best decision for mom and baby, or just listening ear in a caring and confidential setting to help you through the tough times you may be experiencing. Through our personalized Earn While You Learn program, parents and parents-to-be receive Mommy Bucks and Daddy Bucks, which can be redeemed for diapers, wipes, formula, and other necessary items as a reward for learning valuable parenting skills.
Heart Choices also provides one-on-one parenting guidance related to discipline, family, relationships, and discerning age-appropriate behaviors from infancy through 13 years of age. Thanks to many volunteers and services like these, Heart Choices provides support to hundreds of men and women each year at our 4 locations: Beloit, Concordia, Osborne, and Smith Center.
I know for certain that my baby would not be in my arms today if it wasn't for Heart Choices. They helped me through a very difficult time and a decision to not abort my baby. I couldn't think of it any other way now or imagine life without my son.
Heart Choices is here to support you and to provide information on the very best options for you and your baby.
For more information, find us online at heartchoicesbeloit.com or call us 785-738-3433.
The lady there with me was Rachel Ducote. Rachel serves as our program director, and so we are very blessed to have her on staff as well. So we have tried through the years, of course, our goal and our prayer is always, how can we reach more women? And we know that one thing that is very important is in this rural area especially, it's important to be where they can find us. And we want them to walk in the door. And so many of them say, when I came in, just like this client, when I came in, I felt like I was home because they felt welcomed and not judged. And so it's important that we continue to provide those opportunities and to meet them where they are so that they can experience and know that hope that they have. We have done that then through expanding different areas. Of course, we began with our center in Beloit, and we would this is our center there. We opened in a different building in 2002 and moved here in 2004. And in 2021, I'm saving Concordia to last, by the way. In 2021, we were able to open an opportunity in Osborne. We had been meeting with clients in the health department over there, and then this building came available, and we had some volunteers that did a wonderful job renovating it. It was in pretty bad shape. And so we now have a brick and mortar over there in Osborne. And then just last month, we were able to celebrate the opening of our new dedicated building in Smith Center. Again, we had been meeting with clients for several years in the health department. When COVID hit, that room was no longer available and then was repurposed, so we could not go back into there. And we knew that we needed some place that was a little more private, a little more secure, a little larger, of course, so that we could house more of our baby items and things. And so we celebrated that opening with a barbecue for babies block party on October 22nd. And we had such a great response from the community. We're so excited about that. So we have then for many years been meeting also in the health department of the Cloud County Health Department in the building. Now, we started out, again, in one of their buildings, and then when some area opened up downstairs, we were able to have our own dedicated space, which we were so thankful for. But as you know, of course, the health department is on the edge of town, and then with some remodeling and that type of thing, with sharing that space with CASA, we are now located on the very back of the building. So we're just about as hidden away as you can be. And we found that even when people knew, our clients knew where they were supposed to be coming, they were still getting lost. And so for a few years, we've been praying that God would give us an area, a building that would be more visible, more located closer to downtown. And we believe we have located that building now, and that is located at 822 Washington. You may recognize that as Jeff Kendall's former insurance offices. And Jeff is remodeling the building for us to our specifications. Of course, as with every project, things are moving slower than we had hoped, but God has been working with my patience and knowing that God's timing is perfect. So hopefully, we say in faith that we will be moving in the next few months. But we look forward because this area is, again, it's closer to where college students will be going by. It's closer to the high school. It's just going to be a lot easier for people to locate and for us to be able to provide the ultrasounds and other services there. So we are so blessed to be able to provide these things. But every time we expand, of course, yes, it does increase our faith. It increases our needs. But we also have never seen a time when God has not provided those needs. And so why would he start now? He has never failed us as long as we follow him. And that's what we want to do. Just the other day, I answered the phone, and it was a gal that we have been serving, and she's in jail. And so we've been able to do that by through our video classes and that type of thing, and we've been able to serve her. And she had a trial that day, and she called and she said, "Could you just pray with me?" And absolutely, what a joy that was. Those times when we see our clients who are now walking in a responsible, healthy home and following the Lord, that makes it all worth it for sure. Coming up the steps of our center, you probably saw in the video, we have the scriptures from Jeremiah 29:11. I'm sure you're familiar, but we have that in all of our centers. And for I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord. If you could put that, yeah, thank you. For I know the plans I have you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper and not harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. And what a great anchor that is to begin conversation with our clients, because for them, they think God's probably disappointed in them and out to get them. To be able to say that he has plans for you, not just for you, but for your baby and any other children that you have. He has plans. So we are thankful to be able to offer that hope to our clients. Thank you again so much for your invitation to come today, and thank you for your support that you have provided through the years, both through personnel, through financial support, and many other ways. And if you are interested in volunteering, or even we do have paid positions opening here in Smith Center, in Concordia. We do in Smith Center too, but in Concordia, I would love to talk to you. I will be at the table after the service. Thank you.